So with all that, it is time to heat up the stove. John Jastremski, John Harper joins us. And guys, let's start with the Pete Alonso saga, which took another turn with him now reportedly meeting with the Angels this week. Our Andy Martino has continued to reiterate that the Mets' perspective with the situation has not changed. They still expect him to sign elsewhere. We know also there's interest in the Blue Jays. Harp, we'll start with you. How did we get to a point where Pete Alonso is now possibly meeting with the Angels? Well,
he doesn't have a market. That's the problem, Nikki. So I think he's getting desperate now. I'm sure he doesn't want to play with the Angels. He wants to play for a winner, I would think. But you know, you're hearing conflicting reports now out of Toronto whether or not that they really aren't making any progress toward a deal. There's some reports out of Toronto from the team side that basically said they're not doing that. So you get the feeling maybe Boris is trying to push this a little bit, maybe get that out there, maybe try and get the Mets involved again. Who knows? I mean, the Mets obviously aren't going to bid against themselves. They don't believe there's a market out there for them. So. But it feels like there's still a deal to be made with the Mets there because unless somebody else is really going to go above and beyond what they've offered, why wouldn't Alonso want to come back unless it's just that his feelings are hurt and he doesn't want to do it now out of spite or anything else, which would be a bad reason to move on.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you nailed it, though, when it comes to feelings, because you're right. There's still, at this point in time, it's clearly a fit between Pete Alonso, who's basically, along with Scott Boras, auditioning for anybody. Hey, guys, remember me? I hit a ton of home runs. I played first base. Can you go and sign me? He's been waiting a long time throughout this winter to go and get himself a deal. But, yeah, the Mets are the best fit for him. Yeah. He knows the Mets well, but you mentioned those bad feelings. I think it's beyond repair at this point because the Mets made it clear last week they're moving on. Alonso still has not found a home. So, yeah, in theory, there's a fit. Do I see the Mets and Alonso at this point in time? Harper and Niki singing Kumbaya after all of this? No.
But if you're him, you got to get past that if you feel like this is still the best spot for you to be.
But I also feel like with Boris as your agent, there might be a little bit of like, no, you don't want to go back.
Well, at some point, you got to take control of that situation. Yeah, it's your life.
I'm surprised it has gone this far, but I guess we'll have to see. Switching gears to who is on this year's roster as of right now, the Post is reporting Mark Vientos getting in work at first base. The Mets have also told Brett Beatty, remember him, to get work in at first, second, and third. JJ, are the Mets putting too much trust in their internal infielders or whoever they would put at first?
Not necessarily. I think the Mets are trying to pull a page, simply put, out of last year's playbook. Now, we go back to last year. Let's remember what the conversation was at third base. Brett Beatty is going to be the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Mark Vientos came out of nowhere. Nobody was looking at Mark Vientos as someone who was going to be a serious player on the 2024 team. He ended up being one of the most important players on the 2024 team. So David Stearns, to me, is a big player development guy. I think he likes his minor league system a ton. And I think he's thinking it, Harp, hey, I did it last year. We got Vientos to be an unbelievable asset. Maybe I could do it with Acuna or Mauricio or Beatty, whoever it might be.
I think you're right, JJ. I'm not sure I put much stock in this Torkelson thing. He's been a bust for the Tigers. I'm not sure it'd be worth giving up anything. But, he thinks one of these guys, Acuna or Mauricio in particular, we've seen a lot of Beatty now. I'm not sure he's going to get there.
Yeah.
As hard as he's worked, and he sees signs at times, but he continues to regress in his second year. That's not a good sign. So I think Mauricio and Acuna, those are the guys that have a chance to still pop and maybe become another Vientos-type guy.
Yeah, Vientos was supposed to be the DH last year at spring training. Then who would have thought he'd be great at third base? Let's talk about this Scherzer situation. The Mets are maybe thinking about a reunion with Max Scherzer. Harp, we knew how it ended the first time. Why put trust in the 40-year-old now?
Well, I'm not sure I'm buying this one either.
I'm not buying it. I don't think so.
I got to see a little bit more here. I love the guy, what he brought to the clubhouse. He brings that intensity. We know that. He's a guy you want on your team, but he's not the same guy. He gets hurt every year now. He's going to be 41 next summer sometime. It's not necessarily his arm. He hurts his back. He pulls a hamstring, a quad, whatever.
Something always.
So I don't know why you would do that at this point unless he's a really cheap option, but I think they have better options at this point.
To me, this is an absolute hard pass. And I understand that Max Scherzer, for most of the 2022 season, was amazing for the Mets until when the Mets actually needed him the most, to start in Atlanta, the dud against the San Diego Padres. And when you traded him to the Texas Rangers, to me, it's signed, sealed, delivered. That's that. Like, if he wants to go and get himself a prove-it deal, that's fine. We'll see if he can have success. Not with the Mets.